Information. For everyone's information, this is an executive meeting, so this is only a meeting for the commissioners to have conversations. The general public who is in attendance is not part of the conversation, but they are welcome to be here to listen in. So with that, I'm going to paste the agenda in the chat, which all the commissioners were sent. So let me establish a quorum. A second. We do not have one for 5A01, so, or 5A05, Commissioner 5A02, Commissioner Thomas.
Yes, good afternoon. I'm here.
Thank you. Commissioner 5A03, Lucio, present. Uh, 5A04, our newest commissioner, Commissioner Hermes, thank you. Okay. 5A07, 5A06, 5A07, 5A08. 5A08, Commissioner Alston.
Present.
Okay, and 5A09, Commissioner Bakum.
Present.
Thank you. Okay, can I get a motion to accept the agenda?
I move that we accept the agenda.
Can I get a second, please?
Second.
Thank you. So it was moved by Commissioner Bakum and seconded by Commissioner Alston. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, thank you. That has passed unanimously. Okay, so I want to move on to discussing the agenda for the April 2025 meeting. What I have on the agenda so far in my notes is we have had a request from DDOT, sorry, not from DDOT, from the Office of the Ombudsman to talk about how we can help introducing the Office of the Ombudsman about public education. So they would like to do a presentation. I have been in contact with the 4th District Police to see if they would be willing to come to the meeting. So I am working on that. Mundo Verde is going to come for 5A03 to talk about their project and provide an update. Washington Latin is going to come from 5A05 to talk about their construction project and ask for holiday work. They have gone to their single member district and presented to them, and now they're coming to us. The other thing that is due on this agenda is our second quarter report. So Commissioner Bakum, are you going to be prepared to have that ready?
Yes.
Okay. So we will need that. Okay. Any other additions to the agenda? Any questions about the things I mentioned on the agenda for next month? For the end of this month, sorry.
I would like to add something later on though.
For the regular meeting agenda?
Yeah,
What would you like to add for the regular meeting agenda, Commissioner Thomas?
I don't know if I had to agenda, ask about, I'm gonna inquire about grants, if you don't mind. What would
You want to
be
do that at this meeting or for the other meeting?
But this meeting and the other meeting. See if
So
can
we
get it.
didn't, so it was not added to the agenda when I sent out a request for things to be added to the agenda. And when we approved the agenda, we approved it as is. We didn't add a modification to the agenda.
Okay, we could add a modification though. And let's talk about grant. Don't mind, please.
Okay, so commissioners, we've had a request to modify this agenda to add a point about the grants. Does anybody have an issue with that?
No.
No problem.
Okay. All right, I will add that after the budget request discussion.
I'd like to add something for the next meeting.
For the ANC meeting?
Yes.
Yes, please go ahead, Commissioner Alston.
Mm, I don't have all the information in front of me right now.
What
I'm
is it
sorry?
about? What is it about, though?
I didn't hear the question.
Commissioner Alston, what's the topic?
You're muted.
We can't hear you, Commissioner Alston. And if commissioners, if we can have just one person speaking at a time, please, and use raised hands if we can.
It's about DC Empowerment. It's a group. DC Empowerment.
Have they asked to come present?
Yes.
Did we get an email about that? They usually
just-
email all of us.
I I don't know whether you got an email or not, but I'm just telling you.
Okay.
I can
Commissioner,
follow
problem
up
with that
after
as
the
long,
meeting.
okay, I have no problem with that as long as we have time on the agenda, but could you ask them to email me so we can the official process for putting something on the agenda is to send an email. And then usually the chair is involved so that we can, and the secretary, which in this case happens to be me in both roles. And so then we can decide on that. But does anybody have a problem with adding that to the agenda, assuming that?
No problem.
Okay. Just have them send me an email. What was the name of the group again? The DC Empowerment, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'd want to know what their topic is and how much time they're gonna need and all that, okay?
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. All right, so the next item on our agenda is budget requests. So, Commissioner Bakum, would you please elaborate on the budget requests for this year?
Yes, can I share my screen?
Sure.
This is, I need to have authority to share my screen.
Yes, but in the future, if there's a document you want to share, if you can send that to everybody in advance, that would be
Okay,
helpful.
sorry.
So everybody has time to review it.
Yes, okay. Where is it? Hmm. I found, okay, this is one thing. This is a business card invoice from, that's not really what I wanted to show though. Hmm. I'm sorry, I can't find it. It's a,
Commissioner Bakum, could you maybe just start with a list of the things that are on your list to talk about?
oh yes, okay. So let me see. Well, it was purchases of computers and phones. Let me see.
So we've already approved purchases of phones and we've done that in the past.
Okay,
We have phones approved in the budget, right? And we have a process for that, and you have to use the template because with any equipment we purchase, anybody like equipment we purchase or keys we give out for the office, everyone has to sign an agreement. So you'll need to use either the old agreement or create a new agreement. Because we absolutely cannot give out equipment without having a signed agreement about liability.
okay,
So we've had one in the past. They're located in the office if you don't have one. And we
The
should use
forms?
that.
the forms?
Well, the template for the document people have signed, the agreement people have signed.
Okay. All right, can I try to share my screen again?
Yeah.
Okay, so we were planning on getting a phone for Commissioner Alston and a phone for the admin person, obviously both of which would be returned after they leave the commission. Does anyone have any problem with that, or does anyone else need a phone besides those two phones that we wanted to purchase?
But we don't have an admin person yet, so we really should not be purchasing a phone for an admin person that we don't have.
Oh, well, I thought that was going to be coming soon, but
Well, can you tell us, do you have an update on the status of the job posting? Have you posted it?
Um, no, I haven't posted it. Commissioner Alston had a person in mind.
Yeah.
But
Okay, but that has to go through a process before that can be approved. And so that, and it also, it can't just go to just any one person. I mean, we have to open that, it has to be open, there has to be a process, there has to be an application process. We have to interview them. We have to make sure that they're the right person for the job. They're going to be working with all of the different commissioners. And so that there has to be a process and the job has to be posted. Publicly
okay, I just
posted.
thought we can do that. I just thought it'd be more efficient to buy both phones at the same time.
I agree.
Okay, so let's, hold on a second, so, are there other commissioners who'd like to weigh in on this topic? Please use the raise hand feature or raise your hand. So the problem, I think the issue I have with it is that we're gonna, if we pay a monthly fee when we get the phones. We have to purchase the phones and we have to pay a monthly fee. And so once the phone is connected, and if there's no one using it, then we're paying money for something that we're not using until we get somebody in the position. It's easy to it doesn't change the price to get a phone, one phone versus two phones.
Okay, all right, so we'll just get one and then we'll get the other one later. Okay, and then,
So hold on, so Commissioner Bakum, so just so I'm clear, we only have one commissioner who has requested a phone, is that correct?
that's my understanding, yes.
Okay, and that's Commissioner Alston?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And Commissioner
Yeah,
Alston
they-
also requested a computer.
Excuse me if I may interject, please.
Go ahead, Commissioner Thomas, go ahead.
Have we asked the new commissioner if he needed one?
I'm
Is
sorry?
that available to him? He said tonight.
Commissioner Hermes, do you need a computer or a phone?
I should be fine, at least for now. I've got my own phone and computer. I mean, I'm not running too crazy on data, so I appreciate the offer, but at least for now, I'm good.
Okay.
Okay, good,
Thank you, Commissioner Hermes. Thank you, Commissioner Thomas. Commissioner Bakum, please continue.
Okay, so I guess the same would apply, the same situation would apply to get one computer for now for Commissioner Alston and then get another computer if and when that admin person comes on board and needs one. Is that correct?
I am okay with that. Are other commissioners okay with that?
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead, Commissioner Alston.
Do we have to go through the same process as we go in there and once we get a person, come back and have another meeting?
No,
If-
so at this point, we are agreeing that that this is in the budget, that this is something we agree to pay for. We just need to confirm that if we get somebody on board that they will want one. We're not going to get another computer for an admin assistant necessarily, because that's not something we've ever done before. But we would have to talk about. We've only approved these things for commissioners.
Okay, can we ask the other commissioners now, right now, if once we get another person that,
Another person or an admin
give
assistant?
them a phone, and the admin assistant a phone, a cell phone, and also the computers for the office, not for the person to take home.
So Commissioner Alston, you were breaking up a bit on that, so sorry about that. So I want to make sure I'm clear. What you're asking is that for us to approve that the commissioners are okay with having a phone and a computer for an admin assistant, correct?
Yes.
Well,
Then we
we
think about,
don't, go ahead, Commissioner Thomas, were you going to say something? So we don't know for certain that the person's going to want one or need one. They may or may not need one or want one. We don't know yet.
the items are for the office, not for the person.
Well, so not necessarily. The phones are for the commissioners. The phones are for the commissioners and the computers are for the commissioners.
I'm talking about for the office assistant.
Yeah, that is not something we had discussed when we approved the budget. It was for a computer for an administrative assistant. We had only approved computers and phones for the commissioners.
Well,
So
oh, I'm sorry.
I'd like to discuss that right now
I understand that. So we
and
are,
take a
so,
vote on it.
well, but we can't, there's no voting in this meeting. There is only voting in the regular meeting. We can have discussions about this in this meeting and then agree to bring it to the table for our regular meeting where we would vote on it.
I don't have a problem with getting it, another computer that could either be in the office or the admin person could take home if necessary. I don't have a problem with that.
Okay, anybody else want to weigh in on that topic?
Thank you.
Commissioner Thomas, Commissioner Hermes? Okay. Okay, so then do I have a request to bring that up to the, at the next meeting?
Yes.
Okay,
So, there's other items listed. Oh, and by the way, I would also propose that if we do get any more commissioners and they also request these items, that they are, that we discuss at the meeting on the 23rd, you know, and allow that to be purchased for any new commissioners. Okay, if they need them.
Yes, I think.
okay,
So as you can see also on the list, there's office chairs, conference room chairs, printer, and business cards. So those are all under office supplies. And we had set aside office supplies, but I just wanted to be clear that these are some of the things we're going to be purchasing.
do we have well, but we don't have a price on that yet, do we? Do you have a price on that?
Yeah,
Oh, I see you do.
yeah.
Is that an estimate or did you get an actual price quote?
I looked on staples.com and there's a wide range of different prices, but those are approximate prices.
Okay, so I also just want to be clear that, to my knowledge, the only person who's going to be using the office is Commissioner Alston. Is that correct? Or are other people planning to use the office?
I
think-
think about the office, or
Pardon me, Commissioner Thomas?
I can barely hear you guys, or something. You're saying, what about the office space again, please, if you may?
I asked if anybody else had intention of using the office other than Commissioner Alston.
Okay.
I might use it, and I think Commissioner Alston said she would also be maybe having meetings with members of the public.
Yeah, if whoever's using it can use it for whatever purpose they want. Okay, so it looks like what you're requesting, Commissioner Bakun, when you bring this to the meeting, can you separate these out? Can you separate out the phones versus the computers versus the office equipment?
Okay,
So what I'd like to know at the when we bring it to the meeting is what the total is for the computer. So we're only doing one computer, what the total is for the phone, we're only doing one phone, and what the total is for the office equipment.
okay,
Okay,
Yep.
so right now it looks like you're talking about $3,000 for the office equipment.
yep.
Okay, does anybody have an issue with us spending $3,000? Commissioner Bakun, for the record, for everybody's people who may not be familiar, can you share what we currently have in our budget?
Oh, yeah. Let's see. I could share that as well. Commissioner Hermes has his hand up.
Commissioner Hermes, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask about the conference room chairs, I guess, especially because we're doing virtual meetings. I guess more of a question than any pushback, just trying to figure out what those are and what they're for.
Just in case we did want to have an in-person meeting in that office. It could be us or it could be other members of the public.
Okay, sounds good.
But while I'm thinking about that, I'm realizing there's a small table in there, and not much in terms of a desk. So we might need a desk and another table. Right now we have $4,000. Can you guys see the budget here? Can you see my screen with the budget?
Yeah,
Okay. So we have $4,000 for office supplies. If we were to get a table and a desk, that might put us over the 4,000. So we might need to bump that up a little bit.
Okay, so if you can get us exact figures for the meeting, I mean, we clearly have that within our, we have, what's our total ending balance?
We have like over 100,000 right now.
Right, that's what I want everybody to be aware of. So
Yeah.
we have 114, that, can you stop, you need to stop
I'm
moving.
sorry,
so.
sorry.
Go back down, please. 100 no, the ending balance is 81,000? No, I just,
Yeah.
okay. I thought you said,
That's if we spend 33,000 during the year.
okay, that's not what I want to know. I
Okay.
need to know what our current funds available, thank you, 114,753. Okay, so that's what we have now, so we clearly do have this money in the budget, so does anybody have any issue with that? One thing I do want to make very clear is that when we hire an administrative assistant, there has to be a timesheet. There has to be a record keeping of the work that the person is doing every single hour that they're working. And I want to know who's going to keep track of that. Because Commissioner Bakum, you're going to have to create a timesheet for this person.
Okay, I guess I'm gonna be the one keeping track of it then.
Yeah, you're gonna have to be in there, and it has to be signed off on either weekly or monthly or however often you decide, whatever periodicity you decide.
Okay,
But we have to have a firm record and know exactly what they're doing. So if they're working independently without somebody supervising them, they're gonna have to provide, we're gonna have to see like, tangible evidence of what they're working on, right? That they can't just be goofing off and we don't know about it,
yep.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so before we can hire anybody, we need to make sure we've got all those pieces in place. Okay, so
So yeah, I'll add a couple of line items like Commissioner Alston, if you can help me figure out what else we need for the office, whether chair, table, desk, that kind of thing. And then in the next couple days, so that I can update this spreadsheet and I can update, let's see, this spreadsheet here. And then send it out in plenty of time for the commissioners to look at it before the next meeting.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Is there also a request for supplies?
There's paper in the office on South Dakota Avenue at UDC. What else do we need for supplies?
Okay, so I don't want to necessarily have a discussion right now about what
Mhm.
supplies. That was a list that I had requested before. So when you have a list together, please bring that to another executive meeting and then we can approve that. We can discuss that at the executive meeting and then approve that at an ANC meeting.
Okay, we actually talked to Kent Base and he said little things like paper don't need to be discussed at a meeting.
No, those little things don't need to be, absolutely.
yeah.
But there were bigger things that were mentioned, so I just want to make sure we have a full accounting of what they are.
Okay, so yeah,
Okay.
if anyone needs any such items, please let me know in the next couple days so I can work on this spreadsheet and we can have it updated and have it ready to go.
Well,
Mhm.
hold on a second. That's not what I said. So
Okay,
we don't have a number for those items right now. Accounting number, right? So without having a detailed list of the supplies, not like the traditional supplies like pens and paper and stuff like that. Anything other that's not a day-to-day supply, what I'm asking for is that there be a list provided and shared with all the commissioners. We will bring that to an executive meeting, discuss that as a budgetary issue, and then we'll bring it to the ANC meeting at the next meeting.
I would like to push back against that because if we're talking about this right now and we might forgot something like, I don't know, something printer related or something. Printer is on here, but I mean, we're talking about office supplies. So
We don't
I
have a
would like,
budget number, right? So we need to have a budget number, and right now we have nothing.
We do have a budget number, we just haven't given it to you.
Right, that's what I'm saying. And we've been asking for that for the last 2 months I know Commissioner Alston's been requesting office supplies for the last couple of months, and I've said, please provide a list of everything you want in detail and the amount that has. So Commissioner Bakum, what I would suggest is that since we're discussing it now, since there is time, if you can put together a list, just all I ask is that you share the list with all of the commissioners by email a week before the meeting, so people have time to look at it. Is everybody okay with that? Commissioner Hermes, Commissioner Thomas, Commissioner Alston?
We talked to Ken downtown. He said we didn't have to do that.
Not for the little stuff,
We-
but for
we
the
did-
bigger stuff. Right, I understand that.
He, he,
I
he said
understand that.
we did not do that. We talked to him about the same thing that you're saying, and he said we didn't have to do that.
Okay.
Okay, but
Alright,
either way, if we're gonna buy stuff, we need to know what we're gonna buy. So just
Correct.
let me know what you want to buy, and I mean,
Right.
I guess, I guess it's possible to do reimbursements, but it's better if I have the debit card and I have the checkbook, so it's better if I make the purchase.
It
So-
is better if you make the purchase because the issue is that everything we purchase has to be approved, and if it's not approved, there's not a guarantee that it will be reimbursed. So it's always better that you do that.
So just coordinate with me. We can go to Staples, we can go to the print store, whatever, we can order the business cards. Let's just be in communication about it.
The business cards have already been approved.
Right. I'm just saying, let's coordinate so we can get them all at the same time.
So
Yeah.
while we're on the talking about the business cards, I'd like to know, we do need business cards for Commissioner Hermes. He doesn't have any yet. And neither does Commissioner Thomas, neither does Commissioner Alston. I still have mine from before. So those need to be ordered as soon as possible, and you should have the template of what we used and the printing house that we've used before.
I do.
Okay, so is there a reason that hasn't been done yet?
Nope, it's gonna take place soon.
Okay, great. Okay. Okay. that'd be
Also, on the budget, there's a couple more things that we just paid for, which are the Zoom account and the post office box. So I need
Did
to
you
get,
also pay the bill for the website?
oh, not yet, but I have to pay that as well.
Okay, so that's fine. So just when you prepare the quarterly financial report for the meeting, for the next meeting at the end of the month, just make sure all of that is detailed and on that report. That's fine.
Okay. Okay, and also I'll have to come by and get your signature, Commissioner Lucio, on a check, and also on, when we use the debit card, we have to fill out a form saying this is what we used it for, and we have to get your signature on that too.
Okay, so just reach
And
out.
also, I still was never able to get into that Box.com account. I don't know why, so we'll have to talk offline about that.
Okay, yeah.
One
Okay.
other,
Commissioner Alston, yes, go ahead.
yes, does that include where the printer that we need?
Printer, yes, it's on here.
Okay. And that screen, since I'm doing live and Zoom, I still need that setup. Remember we talked about it, like they had downtown?
Are you doing,
Sorry.
you want to do a hybrid meeting?
Yes, I'm gonna do the hybrid meeting, and the people also will be,
Okay, so Commissioner Alston, just so you know, the meeting notices and how you're sending out notices about hybrid meetings, and so just make sure you're following the protocols for that.
okay.
So,
And just so everyone knows, just as a side note, everyone has the ability to put a meeting notice on the website, and everybody has the ability to share with me information to send out on our MailChimp account. So whenever you're having a meeting, we can do it in two different ways, on the website and on the MailChimp account. So if you have trouble with that, just let me know.
okay, yeah, I don't think I know how to send out or post on the website.
You're not able to, I have to send it out on MailChimp.
Okay,
But I had given you directions about the website, but it's, if you just send it to me, I can do both too. That's fine. Everyone has access to their own page on the website.
okay.
Hello.
Commissioner Alston, you had requested a data card that was kind of expensive, and I don't know that was like a justified
Oh,
expense.
no, I don't need that.
Okay, okay. But what were you saying about hybrid meetings? What else, what equipment do you need for that?
I'd have to have that screen. And we already have,
Projector?
the projector. And
Oh,
we already can use that computer that that they have. We need a
So-
laptop.
You're gonna need for that, you're gonna need microphones. You're gonna need a separate second computer. And you're gonna need internet access.
Oh, good, you know everything. That's wonderful.
so a second computer. Okay, so that could just be any second commissioner, but right? or do we need another computer that like we were talking about before?
Well, what you want to do is you want to set it up in the room, right? So that whoever, so Commissioner Alston, if this is your meeting, right, you're on one screen, but you're also going to need a screen that shows the audience in attendance, or a camera that shows the audience in attendance.
Yes.
And so it could either be another computer or it could just be a camera. And then you're going to need microphones for everybody who is either speaking, so that it picks up other people in the room. Because anybody who is virtually in attendance needs to be able to hear anybody who's speaking at the time, or see people who are speaking. What I would suggest you do, Commissioner Alston, if this is something you want to pursue, is that you work with, there are other ANCs that are doing hybrid meetings, and reach out to them and find out, Commissioner Bakum, you might collaborate on this, is find out contact their treasurers and find out what equipment they've purchased and where they've purchased it from, and how well their setup is working. Because there were a couple times we've tried to do hybrid meetings and they haven't worked. North Michigan Park Civic Association has also tried to do that, and it's been challenging. So before we invest in the money for a hybrid meetings, I want to make sure that, that the equipment is gonna work, and who's gonna run it during the meeting. That's the other thing, Commissioner Alston, is somebody needs to run it during the meeting, because you're not gonna be able to do that.
Right. I've talked to downtown in Ken's office. I'll probably be going down there to get some instructions and stuff of what they need.
That's fine. So go ahead and do that. And then I don't want to purchase that stuff now until we have a plan for that.
Yes, of course.
Okay, but I would like to just have it as a possibility, so we don't have to keep coming back to this.
Right.
There's too many what ifs on this. We don't know exactly all the stuff that's going to be needed. We don't know the costs on it all. So I would like to leave that off of this budget proposal for right now. It's easy enough for us to bring. It's going to take a little bit of time, Commissioner Bakum.
How do other people feel? Do you think we should put this off until May, June, or we should?
I think we need to do it now. It's not that hard. I'm a computer technician. It's not that hard to do.
Commissioner Thomas, do you have an opinion on this?
I'm not saying we need to buy it now. I'm saying we need to just approve it in the budget on this month.
So what I would say, Commissioner Bakum, is let's do this. When you present your budget for this, say that you're requesting that we spend, and this is the way we've done things like this in the past,
Mhm.
is that we say we approve up to $5,000 to be spent on equipment for a hybrid meeting. If the equipment costs more than that, you would have to come back and ask for more.
Okay,
Okay, so if you can phrase it like that we are requesting up to $5,000, is everybody okay with that amount?
Yeah.
Up to $5,000 for microphones, cameras, computers, whatever's needed to run a hybrid meeting, then we can approve that, okay?
sounds good. I'm not sure if that's going to go in communications or office supplies, but I'll check with the OANC to find out how that should be categorized.
Okay. Okay. All right. Anything else budgetary wise, Commissioner Alston? You're gonna have the quarterly financial report at the next meeting, you said.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
Anything else?
No,
No.
I just want to say one more thing, that if once I'm working down there with Ken and them, if I find out that it's over 5, which I hope it should not be, will we still approve it?
We'd have to discuss that at the ANC meeting.
Okay.
Sorry, just to go back. So conference room table and desk, that's going to be pricey as well.
But that's a separate cost, right? We gotta.
Yes.
All I said was the $5,000 for the hybrid meeting stuff, not the table, not the furniture.
Right, but I'm just wondering if people have thoughts about that. Is that something that we would support?
Well, again,
Let's
you
say-
don't have
oh, no.
numbers for us to show, right? So typically I'd ask for you to bring numbers, exact numbers or close to exact
Mhm.
numbers. So what we can do is we can say we approve for office furniture up to a certain amount. So why don't you do some research on that and see what a rough amount would be?
Okay,
Okay, does that work for everybody?
yep.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Commissioner Bookham. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay, thank you. All right. I want to talk about, we have a position in our bylaws for a parliamentarian. And there was a training that a couple of our commissioners attended. Commissioner Hermes also has actually expertise in this area. And I would like to propose that Commissioner Hermes be our parliamentarian if he is willing to do this, and if everyone else is okay with that. Obviously, we'd have to vote on that at the meeting, and then we'd have to get him sworn in.
What's this person again, please?
I'm sorry?
Who is this person you said?
Commissioner Hermes from 5804,
5804.
The,
Okay.
the new commissioner.
the new Commissioner Jack
Okay,
Hermes.
yeah, okay. Thank you.
Yep. Does anybody have any? Commissioner Hermes, are you good with that?
Yeah, no, great. Appreciate
sorry.
the nomination. I've served in a couple parliamentarian positions and then sort of, as I've said before, a guru of Robert's rules and love organizational law. So I appreciate the nomination.
Great. Okay, we will bring that to the floor at our next meeting. Thank you. Okay. Okay. All right. I wanted to talk about setting some rules for meeting protocol. And make sure that we are all in agreement on this for public meetings. These are not necessarily requirements, but they're recommendations. So I would like to set sort of some protocols. If you've ever been to Commissioner or to the North Michigan Park meeting, they have protocols. I'm trying to see where I could put that. Thought I had made a note of this. I don't know. I can't find my document right now. But things I was thinking of are, it's recommended that all commissioners have their cameras on during the meeting. All commissioners are identified by their name and their single member district number on their screen. That everyone either uses the raise hand feature in Zoom before speaking, and then is called upon by the chair. And that when we have a presentation, that the ANC commissioner representing that area, so if it's a commission, if it's a commission business item for, say, 5A04, then Commissioner Hermes would introduce the item, talk about why it's being brought to the commission, a little bit of what work he's done on the project, communications they've had, if they've had if they've had single member district meetings about this, and what the what the ask is of the commission. And then before introducing the presenter, let the presenter present, and then that commissioner would have the floor to bring the vote to the committee, to the ANC. But what I want to do is make sure we are all on the same page in terms of professionalism, protocol, people not speaking out of turn, people raising their hands, people, being on camera for the most part, and all of those types of things. Does anybody have any problems with any of those? Does anybody have any things they think we should add to that list? Commissioner Bookham.
Thank you. Yes, it's a good idea to have more discipline in the meeting. The training about Robert's Rules of Order was great. Someone has an echo. So everyone should take the Robert's Rules of Order training. There was a suggestion at that training that we have a motion at the beginning, like let's say a community member is coming to request something, that we make a motion at the beginning of, like, even before they start speaking. Like, I move that, we do a letter for SJS, which I'm in the middle of working on because we agreed to that. So I move that we do that. Someone seconds it, and then there's the discussion. Anyway, this was something that was talked about in the Robert's Rules of Order training, which we should all do.
Okay. Yeah, all of that's fine. Anybody else have any concerns or questions? Okay, so I just want to make sure we're all clear on that and, you know, who's speaking, who has the floor. Typically, when we have a presenter, I'm gonna always call on the commissioners first to ask questions about the project before we go to the general public. That's generally been what we've done in the past. And the chair leads the meeting, so the chair will, you know, determine the questioning. Does anybody have any issues with that? Okay. Okay, I will put together a list
okay.
of things.
Excuse me, I have a question.
Yes, Commissioner Alston, go ahead.
Okay, first I want to, my phone had blanked out for a few moments. The part about everybody being on the Zoom, did you already talk about that?
On camera, sorry.
Go ahead, Commissioner Alston.
I don't think that's very practical that you have to be on the Zoom, because if you're in a position that you cannot be on the Zoom, but you still are able to join, I
You mean
think
I'm
that's
sorry.
okay.
I just want to clarify. You mean on camera or on Zoom is
I'm
something?
sorry, on camera. And then if you're not gonna be at the one of the meetings and you have talked to maybe the president or somebody else, another commissioner that could step in and give some information concerning your project that you're working on in your
Yeah, so
area would be good.
that's different, Commissioner Alston. That's different. So if a commissioner cannot, it asks to be excused from a meeting and they ask for somebody else to give a report for their ANC, that's fine. That's not a problem. But and it's just a recommendation that everybody be on camera. All the commissioners be on camera, not the guests, but the commissioners, right? And so it's not a requirement, it's just a recommendation.
Just to make a recommendation, okay.
I mean, I think it's just, it makes us look good, right? And that's the goal, is making us as a commission look like we're organized, look like we're focused, look like we're attentive, look like we're involved. If a commissioner is not on camera, we don't necessarily know what that commissioner is doing, right? And so it makes us look better as a commission.
I agree it looks good, but the thing about it is if they're not able to do it but give you a report, then that should be acceptable.
Yeah, I said it's a recommendation, it's not a requirement.
Oh, okay.
But just please keep in mind that I think it makes us look good. And I saw Commissioner Hermes nodding his head yes to that as well. So I'm assuming he's in agreement with that. So, okay. So what I'll do is I'll put together a list of things that I think would be worthwhile. And I will share that with everybody. You can feel free to add comment or edit it or make, you know, if there's other things you think we should add to that, and then we can add that to our regular meeting agenda as the protocol for the meeting. Is that reasonable? Everyone good with that? Okay. Okay, the only other thing I wanted just to mention real quick, before we adjourn is that, please remember to be regularly checking your emails. I want to make sure that everyone's checking their emails from their constituents on a daily basis or as regularly as possible. Make sure we're not missing things, because there's lots of stuff that's happening in our ANC right now. And a lot of things we've been invited to and included on. So just please make sure you're doing that. And then as information sessions and other trainings come up, you know, keep in mind that those are helpful to go to. So, okay, anything else for the good of the order?
Yes, please. So,
Mr. Thomas. Oh,
yeah,
yes,
briefly,
I'm sorry. You had
this
asked
evening-
about you had asked about the grants. I'm sorry.
yes, grants, and what is the criteria for someone to, this, Queens Chapel Civic Association want to write a grant to help, what is it? Not to help, but I should say, they want to fix up their signs and welcome to Queens Chapel. They want to plants and stuff like that, and they want to know, could they write a grant? I told them, I'm almost sure they can. Well, what do they need? Just write the grant up. I submit it to you guys, ask you guys to, they'll probably have a line item, how much they want to get done, and what else do they need to get? That's what I want to make sure. So it won't be this back and forth thing. till we
So
get it
Commissioner
straight.
Thomas, it's all on the website. Have you seen the information on the website?
Okay, I'll, on the website,
Yes, it's on the website, right, Commissioner Bakum? It's on the website?
Yes,
And the form is on there as well, correct?
yes.
So
I'll
that's
let
all
them
on the website, and it says the criteria for what would qualify.
okay. So, one other thing too, are we almost at the end or what?
Yes,
Okay, so, we can leave here this evening knowing that the supplies that Mrs. Austin asked for, we're going to make every effort to move on that, right? So we won't have to
Yes.
rehash this over again.
yes.
Okay, Mr. Austin, are you okay with this now, moving forward?
Yes, sir.
Do we need to get a vote next week for anybody for this?
No,
Madam
we have to vote on the stuff we talked about today at our
At a
ANC
public meeting,
meeting.
that's what I'm
Right.
trying, we talked about that earlier today. Okay,
Yes.
so on that, can that be one of the first thing on the agenda, get done, to move on?
Well, that'll be under commission business, under the financial report.
Okay, good. So Ms. Austin, it'd be pregnant, did you be there on time? This is your
Yes.
thing, and so we can get this out to it. It's all about moving forward, and, we've been, this is our 4th month, we've been sworn in, so we want to move forward, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Commissioner.
All right. That's all, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I should also let everybody know that, we have a commissioner for 5A01 who will be joining us as soon as they finish wrapping up their paperwork and getting sworn in. Commissioner Bakum.
And there's also a potential commissioner for 5A07 in the pipeline.
Great. Great. Yep,
So
I did
moving
hear
on.
about that one too, but that one's a little farther out. I think that one did not make the deadline, so they had to do a different process for that. The 5A01 made the deadline, the initial deadline. Okay. All right, anything else for the good of the order? Okay, so prior to our meeting, I will send out an agenda for review. I will send out a list of protocols for the meeting. Commissioner Bakum will send out a copy of the second quarter financial report and a copy of the request for budget items for everyone to review at least 1 week prior to the meeting. Everyone good with that? So that we have time and we're not rushed to review it. Everyone good with that?
Did you put on there about the mayor, giving it, the mayor's co-tars becoming?
Empowerment.
Put on what? Put on the agenda?
Yes, the co-tars are gonna be coming, and also somebody from Parker's office will be coming.
Yeah, they're standard on the agenda.
Okay, great, thank you.
They're standard on the agenda. Yeah, our mocher and our mocher from the mayor's office. You've all met our mocher, right? Everyone's met the mocher?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, thank you all very much.
Madam Chair,
Yes,
next week agenda, the 2 schools are coming, am I correct?
Mundo Verde and Latin.
How long are their presentations gonna be? Because we keep going back and forth, this is, we don't want this to be a long-running TV show with them.
No, these two haven't been back in a while. Mundo Verde has not been back. They're just giving an update on their construction project.
Are they looking for a vote? Let's put it that way then.
No, Mundo Verde is just an informational. But the Latin school is looking for a vote on the, working on certain holidays.
Right, now there's no agency for that, if I'm correct?
There's no commissioner for that ANC, correct?
Okay, has anyone been hounding that at all? Let's go back.
Yes, so right, this is what I said earlier, Commissioner Thomas. I held a single member district meeting with that single member district about this topic.
Yeah, what is their thoughts so far before we get into this meeting? So it won't be, trying to catch up. What are the taxpayers are saying over there about that project?
They're fine with it as long as they don't do it on Emancipation Day.
Okay, good. So it should be real quick with this. Am I correct?
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
yep, thank you. Okay, anything else? All right, can I get a motion to adjourn?
I move that we adjourn.
I
Commissioner
second.
Bakum? Who was the second?
Thomas.
Thank
No,
you.
Hold
And
on, hold on a minute, hold on. The, at the last meeting, there was a question about, Providence. Can we get an update on Providence? And you weren't there.
yes, actually, I apologize. Providence is supposed to be on the meeting. That was my mistake. And I have an update and I will be providing an update. And I've also invited Evan from Providence. So yes, I apologize. I meant to put that on the agenda. They will be there as well. Thank you for reminding me, Commissioner Alston.
Could you also give us an update on those houses that are being built? Are those, being built now? Are those the housing or is that, the Kennedy Institute?
There's no houses being built right now, just the Kennedy Institute.
Okay,
The houses won't come for another year and a half or so.
okay, thank you.
Yeah, but yes, we will have an update from Providence. Thank you for the reminder. I forgot about that. Okay,
There's a motion on the floor for second.
yes, motion and a second. Can I, all in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
Aye,
Aye,
Great. Thank you all. Have a good evening.
thank you.
thank you.